Did Bitcoin just fail its mission? Hear me out. Everyone is calling this the institutional era of crypto. Big companies, big funds, big banks buying crypto, launching ETFs, holding it on their balance sheets. Sounds like progress, right? Adoption, legitimacy, validation. But here's the real question. Is this actually good for retail investors like us? Or did something change that most people aren't talking about? Hi, my name is Lamia, and in this video I'm going to break down how institutional are reshaping Bitcoin, how it trades now versus before, what the data is actually showing, and what this means for retail investors. Let's break it down clearly. When Satoshi created Bitcoin, the idea was simple. Peer-to-peer electronic cash. No banks, no governments, no middlemen. The power goes back to the individual. You control your money. No permission needed. That was the mission. But look at today. The biggest Bitcoin holders aren't individuals. They are institutions, public companies, asset managers, ETF providers. Companies like Treasury holds hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. Funds like BlackRock offering Bitcoin ETFs to traditional investors. Together, institutions now control a significant portion of the supply. And that changes the structure. Before institutions arrived, Bitcoin moved differently. It had its own cycle, driven mostly by retail demand, crypto-native capital, speculation. Now, Bitcoin trades more like a tech stock. When tech goes up, Bitcoin goes up. When tech drops, Bitcoin drops. Interest rates matter. Liquidity matters. Macro matters. It's no longer isolated. It's connected. And that connection comes with institutional adoption. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. Institutions bring massive capital, long-term demand, easier access, regulatory clarity, ETF infrastructure that creates stronger foundations. But here's the trade-off. When institutions hold large amounts of a limited supply, they influence liquidity. They influence volatility. If a major fund needs to sell, price react fast. Not because of panic, but because of size. And retail usually feels that impact first. Bitcoin ETFs changed everything. They made it easy for traditional investors to buy exposure, and billions flowed in. But when markets turned negative, we also saw billions flowed out. And that volatility is now part of the system. The difference is this: the infrastructure remains, the access remains, the demand channels remains. When sentiment improves, capital can flow back in quickly. That didn't exist in early cycles. Now let's talk about companies holding Bitcoin. Some corporations are treating Bitcoins like digital gold, a treasury asset, a long-term reserve. That creates supply pressure because those coins are not trading daily. They are being held. Less supply available means demand spikes. But if companies ever need liquidity, those sales would also be large. It's a double-edged sword. So, did Bitcoin fail? That depends on how you define the mission. If the mission was no institutions ever, then yes, that changed. But if the mission was create a scarce, decentralized asset that cannot be controlled or inflated by governments, then no. That part is still intact. The protocol hasn't changed. The supply cap is still 21 million. The network is still decentralized. What changed is who is participating. So what does this mean for retail? The game is different now. You can't only watch crypto news. You must watch interest rates, tech stocks, ETF flows, liquidity conditions, because Bitcoin now reacts to the broader financial system. That doesn't mean opportunity is gone. It means the strategy must evolve. Institutions didn't kill Bitcoin. They integrated it into the global system. Now the question is, can retail adapt? So, Bitcoin didn't fail. It matured, but maturity comes with complexity. The infrastructure is stronger. The demand floor is deeper, but volatility remains. The people who understand this new structure, who track flows, who don't panic, are the one positioned for the next move. The question isn't, are institutions taking over? They already have. The real question is, will you learn how the game works? Now, I hope this gives you clarity. If it did, share it with someone who needs to understand this shift. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on X and join our community on Telegram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.